Welcome, I'm James O'Loughlin. You know, there's one building in the world in which almost all of us spend over half our lives. Our home. In it, we spend hours sleeping, eating, reading, surfing, watching TV, playing games, chatting, drinking, and then more hours cleaning up all the mess we made doing it all. Home, if we're lucky, is a place of security, comfort, and occasionally, when one kid's at soccer practice, the other's having a sleepover and your mobile phone's broken, of peace. But it can also be a place of invention. Trevor and Nicole Drake's son inspired their invention. He had too many surfboards. They were cluttering up the house, so now they use their walls in a whole different way. 4 students from a Coffs Harbour High School have taken an invention that's been around for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, and finally fixed its one frustrating design fault. And Dennis Tracy would like everyone to recycle the water that's wasted while their shower's warming up. Nice idea, but how do you do it? He thinks he's worked it out. Now to welcome our panel, we have engineering professor Veena Sahajwalla and agricultural scientist Chris Russell. Welcome. Thanks. And our guest judge this week is someone many of you look at every night. She's an accomplished writer and journalist and is the ABC's 7pm news presenter in New South Wales. Please welcome Juanita Phillips. Juanita, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Would you say, I mean, this building, the ABC building, is very important to you, but is your home the most important building in your life?
This is like a second home, but yes, I'm a real homebody. My favourite thing in the world is to sit on the front steps in the sunshine, reading a book while the kids and the dog run around the front yard. That's bliss to me.
Now, inventors change. Invention is about adjusting and improving the way we do things and live our lives. Are there any ways you reckon you might have improved your home life?
I think life is just too complicated these days. We've made it too complicated. So I'm a big believer in downsizing and decluttering. So a few years ago, we moved to a much smaller house. We got rid of a lot of stuff we didn't need. We gave it away, we threw it away, we sold it, and got rid of lots of gadgets and just aimed at making life a lot simpler.
I agree. You don't need a fridge. They're overrated. Well, we look forward to hearing about what you think of tonight's inventions. Thank you very much for coming in. Now, part of inventing is seeing the same thing everyone else sees in a different way. For you and I, a wall is something that holds up the roof and keeps wild dogs and stalkers out. But here's a couple who looked at a wall and saw something new.
Nikki and I have been together for about 30 years, married for 28, and working together for most of those years.
We started our own business, which specialised in kitchens and then moved on to custom joinery. He does all the AutoCAD side of things, and I'm more hands-on, freehand, doing that sort of thing in the design process. The original inspiration for our invention came by accident, so I guess we're more accidental entrepreneurs. When we moved to Manly Beach 10 years ago, we bought the children a surfboard each for Christmas, and Chris just took to surfing like a duck to water.
Chris ended up getting sponsored for his surfing, and he was getting better all the time.
His boards were everywhere. They were in the hallway, up against the back door, and it was an absolute nightmare, so something had to be done.
So we went about and built him a rack.
And that went out into the market, and then it just went gangbusters.
I was very fearful of the fact that if you build a rack out of an inferior board or material, eventually it will break. It'll just fall apart.
And what we discovered was this new plastic that was a waterproof polymer. So we started testing it to see if it would stand up and perform the way we hoped it would.
Well, let's see if it does. Please welcome Trevor and Nicole Drake.
Well, Trevor, this is a great idea. It's really decluttering, if you like, your house. Everyone's got too much stuff these days, which they want to keep up off the floor. So you've come up with a board here which sort of fits directly onto your gyprock back wall.
Yes.
And here we've got a cross-section. We can actually see where this is cut away. And on the back of it here, you can see that there's actually a routed-out section, so that when we take a bracket, which is like so, we can, and this is imitating our back wall here, we can actually clip that on and drop that down so that and that's now quite strong. How much weight will that carry?
We've put up to 200k on it, kilograms on it at the moment.
Well, let's just get rid of this, Fina.
Yep.
And let's have a look at now this furniture that you've got for us here.
Yes.
Is this any old furniture or is this special furniture?
It's the same as any furniture except for one item, which is there's a back rail in the back with 2 holes in for the brackets to slide through.
Which is this rail here. Okay, well, do you want to give me a hand, Bina, and
Sure.
we'll just hang this up.
Yep.
Now, what we're doing is hooking that over the hooks, like so. So push that in over the top. And so you've got 2 screws here. This one here, what does that...
It pushes the cabinet back and locks it. The one underneath actually lifts
here?
for levels if you're out of level.
Okay, so we've screwed that up and that allows you to level the level of it and make sure that it's hard against the wall. And then we take our lid, place that back on the top, and that now gives us a bit of furniture back. The thing that immediately, when I saw this, I thought, wow, for a hospital or a nursing home or somewhere, I mean, you can clean underneath that. It's perfect for a cleaner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, behind you, I see you've made a few extra hooks which fit onto our standard brackets here. I think you've got this bracket here and what's that hook you've got there, Nicole?
Well, this one is for a surfboard, i.e., and it's adjustable by a very simple mechanism.
And that just hooks on. And what about this one up here? This looks like a useful toy there.
That's the old wetsuit arm.
And could you stack, say, kayaks and surfboards one under the other?
Absolutely, and we've done that. We've actually loaded an entire wall with ladders, cabinets, furniture, kayaks, boats, push bikes, wetsuits. There's really no limit.
Well, we're going to do a testing of the loading now. Now, you have a choice of who's going to load this, me or Juanita. No, don't worry, I'll do it. So this is our step. Now, you've set these up as steps, but obviously normally you put, ornaments or something on them. Let's see how good these are. Yeah, so far so good. A lot of creaking, but nothing moving at all. And, of course, that's very strong.
What strikes me, which is quite interesting, is that you mentioned that you've used a particular type of polymer. So it really interests me to find out what type have you used and why.
It's recyclable, it's self-extinguishing, it's non-harmful during the process of manufacture.
How easily could you, in fact, if you were moving, for instance, could you actually undo this polymer sheet and, take it with you to your next apartment or wherever and put that back on again?
Absolutely. Yeah, you'd absolutely take it with you. Buy it once and you'd add to it.
You seem to be leaning more towards the kind of large-scale industrial building commercial applications. Is that where you think it will eventually go?
I guess that's our background and that's certainly the interest we've been receiving.
Yeah.
But it's huge in sport, the recreational sports industry. I think building will be bigger though.
How much is one of these sheets?
Well, a sheet that's 12 by 2400 at this point is $800.
Okay, that's quite pricey.
But you've got it forever.
This is ideal for getting rid of the clutter. And I think you've done a great job and thank you for thinking of it and bringing it to us this evening.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so
wonderful.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now it's time for our judges to pick a winner. Is it Trevor and Nicole Drake's Solid Infinity System, Amber Holmes, James Turner and their fellow students' automated solar-powered clothesline awning, or Dennis Tracy's Joey Can? Let's look first at the idea. Which idea made you most impressed, Fina?
That the Solid Infinity System idea was really sort of pretty amazing, because when you look at it, you think, yes, it's an obvious solution. But a lot of the great ideas actually are never that obvious when you start out.
Then the execution of the idea, how well it's been made. Chris, which design do you think?
I think for execution, I think I really like Solid Infinity, or Clutter Cutter, I'm going to call it, because I think that's exactly what it does. And they've really thought it through, and they've thought of how do we make it strong, how do we actually fix it to an existing wall, how do we make the furniture to fit onto it, every element of it, they've actually thought that through.
And it's designed so that it is sort of so flexible, isn't it? And I mean, I think that's the best part about it, in a way, that the idea has got that built into it, so that whether you want to be able to use it at home in a whole range of different applications, you could do that.
All right, then the big question for the inventors: will the world care? Which one serves a need, and which one will find a market? Do you think, Juanita?
We're all, at the end of the day, people who love to be able to save our time and be very flexible and all of that. So I suppose I was thinking about the solid infinity system. It's one of those that, you know, everyone will look at one of those and go, you know what, I think I can instantly think about so many different ways in which I could use this in my home right now.
And to pick a winner, I think I know what you're going to pick, Veena. Who are you going to pick? Am I right?
I would have to go with the solid infinity system.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting. I really like the idea of someone solving this problem of the clothes being able to be covered. I really, that appeals to me tremendously. But I think in terms of the total package, I'm going to agree with Veena. I think the clutter cutter, as I'm going to call it, solid infinity system is a wonderful, well-resolved idea. So it's got my vote.
And what about you, Juanita?
No, I disagree with both of them. My heart's been won by the Joey can, I have to say. I think it just plugs into this worldwide consciousness of saving water and doing the right thing. And you never have to feel guilty again about turning on the shower and wasting all that water.
There you go, a consolation vote from Juanita Phillips for them. But our winner tonight, Trevor and Nicole Drake and their solid infinity system. Well done, congratulations. Well done. There you go. I heard it to you and you can fight over it all.
Thank you.
So they're in the running to be named our Inventors of the Year. Thanks to our judges, especially guest judge Juanita Phillips. Thank you very much. And a big thank you, as always, to the real stars of the show, the inventors. Congratulations to all of you. We'll see you next week. Good night. Well done.